How's it, my empire? All our loyal followers, all the people that made it out of the so many challenges. So you've earned yourself a authentic episode from the wasp nest, the giant 3D printer, mate. The hierarchy, mate. The hierarchy and the matriarch, mate. High society of Atlantis and Aquaman and all these ideas, mate. The magic carpet, mate. The rock carpet, mate. Where so many people find Ant-Man, mate. The Matrix, mate. And all being part of a secret society, mate. And this is just coming to another episode where we're going to try to talk about educational stuff. How the ancient world is important. How all of these things are possible, mate. And how trying to support the leader is important. But even more important, mate, is congratulating yourself, mate. Congratulate yourself, mate. You've made it another step in life. Another day in the big ghetto, mate. Big up to all the boys out there. All the boys, big hems and sit-up. But in this episode, mate, it's all about the philosophy of DJ slaydem, mate. And being on the rock carpet, mate. The carpet of time travel and immortality, mate. How to use your senses, your sense of sight, your sense of ears, language as a way to communicate, mate. How standing up is healthy. Stand up for yourself, and also how to be the leader of the community. In this episode, we'll try to make it as interesting as possible, mate. While you've got all the options in the world, all the magic and the problems with being a gangster. Well, just like any neighborhood, mate, you've got businesses and all these people with philosophy and stuff. But right now, we don't want a $2 philosophy from TikTok or something. We want to know what the empire is doing. Well, that's good, mate. While our beers are chilling, mate, in the middle of the week, which could be Wednesday in the solstice, mate. So many problems in the world. Well, if you have your episodes, well, then surely the empire must have their episodes, mate. Which is more important, mate, than trying to download with the Wi-Fi, mate. This is a business, mate, my office, mate. A beautiful country, New Zealand. But who needs to be talking rubbish, mate? On the rock carpet, mate. The carpet of so many episodes, mate. But you haven't seen an episode of the West or the wasp nest, mate. Just to intrigue people, mate. Let people know they're not by themselves. So many people are in the cemetery, mate. But so many people are close to the hierarchy. So close to the matriarch, mate, the council. What good is the government? If the government is so important, mate, then what good is society? If society has failed everybody, mate, then there's no point in talking philosophy, mate, unless you can command the English language. But in this episode, mate, we'll try to concentrate on the important subjects, mate, just in case you find yourself lost, like so many people are lost in the world. They'll find a way to reach you, mate. You're my age, 40 years old, mate. A lot of stuff has happened. Just like any home in America or any gang pad. You've got members, you've got opportunities, you've got treasurers, you've got leaders, you've got brains, you've got muscle, you've got scouts. Anything, bro, that works. Instead of trying to figure out, why don't you follow the leader? Well, that's what it's about, mate. Trying to study timber and trying to make a difference in the community. Well, that's why you've got to listen to the leader or what music we listen to. That way you don't pay the opposition. But anyway, it's the holidays, mate. Christmas has ended. Summertime is down under, mate. The beers are getting cold, mate. But why be greedy, mate? You don't have to be greedy, mate. Maybe for shotgun shells. Maybe for groceries. So many people want to do drugs. So many people want to be a gangster. But you don't understand the numbers, mate. Just like any gangsters, bro. You've got frontline soldiers. You've got backup power. Treasurer, money business, money scams, real estate scams, cemetery scams, insurance scams. But this is not one of those scams. If it existed, maybe people would think it's a scam. So then you try to download onto YouTube and make a certified, authentic episode for all the people in our empire. Well, now you're on the rock carpet, mate. The carpet of opportunity, mate. Unless you're not a people person. So then you get an authentic episode anyway. Because you're our age. That means you're like us. You've got the heightened senses. The ability to use your mind like a submarine. But obviously you can't do something with it. Without money, then you can't do anything. Well, that's the job of the neighborhood or the boys. Well, this episode is a lot educational, a lot about health tips, and just other things that will guide you through life. If life is supposed to be inevitable. So what's the greatest fear, mate? Is the cemetery. The fear of a prison, or the fear of being helpless like a child. The fear of being left behind. Now you find yourself in the matrix, you know what I mean? Now people want to know if you're a mad person. They want to know who I'm talking to. Well, that's because I'm the leader, mate. So I get those freedoms, you know what I mean? But those freedoms only come to somebody who's going to sacrifice. All the sacrifices and all the gains. All the gains and all the past. Everything that makes you a special person. Trying to be fresh. Trying to be against the tide. Try to be above the water. And suddenly the worst thing happens. The world is against you. But just like the Matrix, mate, that's how it starts, you know what I mean? That's the sound of the inevitable. But anyway, in this episode, it's all about our empire. All of our people, mate. The people in our empire, mate. Where we're from, mate. Our secret society. The problems in today's world. It's all about having a nice catch up on the Wednesday, mate. The sound of reality, mate. Is the sip of joy, mate. The sound of success, mate. Finally, people are coming to our country, mate. Finally, the inevitable has happened, mate. They can see that society is important. Of course, society is important, mate. But even more important is time. Time to yourself, mate. Not many people have space. But good on you for joining a biker gang, mate. Good on you for listening to rap music. That means obviously you're like us. You can hear the sounds and you've seen something. Perhaps something dangerous. Perhaps something more suspicious. Opposition, mate. Which could be an opposition like another gang. Gangs fight. But don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever be suicidal, mate. But keep those options, mate. But in this episode, it's about whether we're delusional or hallucinating. Trying to get over the hurdles. I guess with every opportunity comes obstacles. Like hurdles, you know what I mean? Some people want to be part of our education system. So they want to learn something. Obviously, you want to learn something. You want to live in the most beautiful place in the world. You live in the world of guns and money, drugs and biker gangs, society and all the problems. But in this episode, is all trying to follow the leader. Following the leader is a lot of good things, mate. You learn a lot of stuff. You get people in your life. People that will help you in times of emergency. Well, in times of getting close to the hierarchy. But if I'm sipping Heineken, then everybody should be sipping Heineken. Well, that's the ancient world. The ancient world had Heineken. A lot of beers and wines and stuff, luxuries, mate. Similar to the house. The house is like an example of the Stone Age. A garage, is a cave. You could be living in a scenario, mate. Scenario for the universe. Yeah, but like the universe or quantum physics, mate. It's just like mathematics. Or trying to talk philosophy with no money. Or trying to smoke without all the problems of society. But you've got to put your prejudice aside. What you've got to do is be comfortable. Stand up. Let the oxygen filter your body. Let it circulate. It will be the best thing you ever do is the health benefits. Well, obviously, you want to know what the leader is doing. Well, the leader's by the table, you know what I mean. But if I'm sipping Heineken, then everybody should be sipping Heineken. Because now you're on the carpet. The carpet of Hollywood. Lion King. How the enemy has penetrated so deep in our territory. Trying to make women feel special. So women don't feel unimportant. So children in our community don't feel like they're lost. But if you're lost, this specific episode is slaydem's philosophy, a different type of episode which you can find on YouTube. But don't be trying to copy somebody unless you got something sensible to say. Well, if you've got your episodes, then surely a secret society like Illuminati has many goals to play in society. Not only the people's secret society, also the banking system. Just like the ancient world has got an abacus, a measuring system. Everybody's got education, but no brains. Opportunity, but it's all about using the opportunity, being available. Well, the ancient world had Heineken and stuff, a lot of good beers, a lot of good stuff, ganja, for millions of years. The reason that you don't know is because you're going from year zero. Year zero is an estimation that the ancient world, mainly Europeans, but also Africans, obviously it's a long time ago. But year zero is like a reality or something. The reason you don't know history is because the temples were burnt down by barbarians, the scrolls. A lot of big cities were destroyed for the very sentiment of messing with the hierarchy. But a lot of the stuff was not destroyed, it was recycled. All the ancient roads and all of the marble and stuff were used for castles in England and Europe. It wasn't really destroyed or sold off. It was more recycled for the Middle Ages. And then from the Middle Ages, you come to the wooden ages, the age of ships and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in education that's missed out. But in any lecture or any episode, you've got to have a woman's side and a men's side, a children's side, old people, and a side for the shadow. This is a side for the normal people who supported us. It's about paying off our bills, favors, anything that people helped us to get to the top. Well, to be on the top, mate, means you got to be sensible, means you need protection. Some of us are real gangsters. It doesn't mean you're not a gangster. It just means you're like an associate or a member that's too old, or you've been stabbed, or you've been robbed, or perhaps you're heartbroken and lonely. Perhaps you need the episode for a resolution in the court system, or maybe you're under the carpet as well. Maybe you're locked in prison. But this will teach you a lot of stuff about not being afraid of the police, how to scout out territory, how to do with what you have, even if you're in prison. In prison, this will help you, mate, because it's like a prison. But this is not prison. You've got to overcome the world. You just got to come to the point where you're mature enough, you're old enough, and then everybody needs help. Well, this will help you a lot of stuff. Standing up for yourself. It will teach you to stand up, find a place for yourself. A place where you can stand up and talk. Conversations is the future. Because then you've got somebody to talk not only for the community, for the empire, which can't be one person. Well, if it's one person, then who is this person? Who's the mysterious person? The person that's on the pedestal or the silver platter. Of course, everybody's in a struggle. We know the struggle. But in this episode, is trying to prove whether you're mad or not. You can't always be mad, and you can't always be wrong. But you can't always be correct. Without money, you can't do something. There you are correct. So I guess you figured out a lot of stuff. But breaking barriers is not good. But in this episode, it's branching out from this business into another promise that we promised the community and empire, that we're going to have a music business to correspond and whatever with communities, mate. Trying to make a difference in the world. Means first you got to understand the ancient world. The ancient world had Heineken and stuff, glass bottles and stuff. A lot of stuff. It even had wrought iron gates and stuff. This is like the ancient world. Horsepower and stuff comes measured from the horse's speed. All of these things, is measured from the power of the sun. So in this episode, it's not about trying to jumble one subject. It's about trying to get as many things out of the way. Insecurities, feeling uncomfortable in another gang territory. Then play these episodes, specifically ones like this, is the future. Because not many people can stand up and command the English language. I can explain everything, make movies and stuff. But without the empire, then you're alone in the universe. But today is Wednesday, you know what I mean? The day, of course, you trying to outsmart the empire. The empire is always greater than itself, but being on the council is a great opportunity. Because on the opportunity, you can study, learn. It doesn't make logical sense. Well, if it's not logical, then surely something must entice you. It must lure you in. Well, you've already been in a spider web. So you've already encountered problems. But in this episode, it's all about beer, standing up, trying to make some positivity from the negativity. It's as easily as playing the episodes. Trust me, it works. Because if it doesn't work, then why are you playing the game? You're playing a game with your life, which is always unfair. Which obviously somebody needs to pay off the bills, or to scout, or you need to separate, or you need to show society that society is important. Well, this is for our parents, or anybody that you've forgotten about. Somebody that could be trapped in an eternal hell, you know, on the eternal carpet of Ant-Man. Perhaps it's a friend. Perhaps it's an enemy that you've forgiven. Something you've forgotten or something. Perhaps it's a debt. Perhaps it's somebody who needs to be in the next world. But with any episode, you've got excitement. You've got all the thrill of the amphitheater of the ancient world. I guess you're stuck on this level, which could be a horrible level. Obviously, if you're so close to the shadow. Well, now you're in the light, mate. Because perhaps the government is too high up. And you now on the level of the carpet. You know what I mean? So they see you like ants. Like ants, you know what I mean? Ants in Africa. Ants in the Amazon. But if you look like South American, then you must be from South America. So many Maoris want to know where they're from. That's a 12 tribes Rasta religion. You can't come from Israel. If you look like you're South American, you're from South America. If you look like you've got dark skin, then you've got African in you. If you're brown, that means you're mixed. It doesn't mean that you're a servant. Doesn't mean that you're unimportant. Well, if you're so unimportant, then why is there a secret society trying to burn down islands? Why is somebody trying to lock down the world? While trying to make sense of it, only the power of the gang or the greater empire or somebody who visits the empire is the emperor. The emperor is like a figurehead, right? Somebody, an image. But if you're not part of the empire, that means you need a hub room, a bus stop, somewhere to catch up, somewhere where you've got people, like my old account, which was a good account, mate. But possibly the person is afraid. But maybe they've tampered with our equipment, which is our dream. Our dream is a business, isn't it? Which could have worked if only they didn't take the unrational steps. So obviously our stuff was tampered with. But we'll try again. We'll try again when time is correct. First is about listening to the leader, trying to study timber. Whether it's carpentry is the wrong timber. Timber building, house building is a good trade. It'll teach you a lot of stuff. Then you can learn independence and how difficult it is and how trying to follow the leader is difficult. More easier to scout it out or go to the servant. Of course, I'm a leader. I got something important I have to say. Well, it's easily said than somebody trying to diss somebody. Somebody can't diss you. Well, if you're the leader's job is to lead us out of the struggle. Well, the only way out of the struggle is with money. So it's pointless trying to fight about it. It's better to unite and follow the leader. Well, that's my job. Sometimes having a wank is better than sleeping with a girl. Sometimes trying to free yourself is better than trying to live somebody else's life. But in this episode, it's all about our empire, our contribution. our contribution to the world, the universe, and like a catch up, just so you know that somebody cares about you, somebody's on the job. As unreliable as some people are, it's better to use your own technology or your own merchandise or your own invention. Sometimes being original is all about backing yourself up. But in order to back yourself up, obviously you need businesses, cafes, liquor stores, music businesses, stuff, which is just like a movie, but like an episode like Top Boy, episode like The Wire. It's investing in the future of everybody. Of course, the ancient world had all the problems in the world today. But can you imagine living in the ancient world? The ancient world with some secret society, mate. Some sort of primitive humans that could be poison in the water. Well, of course, it's a normal Heineken, you know what I mean? But this is a surprise for the empire, mate. Well, the job of the leader is to be the brains, you know what I mean? The brains of the body. You've got to be one body. You can't be disconnected from yourself. Obviously, if the person is threatening somebody with neuroscience, it's easily done, mate. By focusing on the screen. Well, obviously it's nice, isn't it? But that's why I'm the leader. Because there's a lot of things that need to change. But you've got to look at it like this way, mate. Changes are happening. If it's hidden, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's like stepping out of the screen. You know what I mean? You step out of the screen. Walla walla. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that it's hidden away. Well, then it's an opportunity for everybody, isn't it? Well, sometimes you need your own security. You need your own members. Instead of relying on a criminal from India or somewhere has got no clue about the modern world, or living in the future or something, or how important life could be. But now you're on the carpet of opportunity, mate. Aladdin's carpet, mate. The carpet of so many episodes, which probably the person can't understand who's the person innovating technology. Well, that was a long time ago when you were a young person, you know what I mean? You were just younger, but now I'm older. So you pay respect where respect is due. But where respect is due is like you're a young person, you know. You're just a member. And other things that come with being on the council and stuff. But today we're going to touch a lot of topics. Well, for the younger members, for all the members in our society, mate, not just the younger members, older members, people that are confused. You've got youngers, you've got olders, you've got soldiers, you've got scouts, you've got muscle power, you've got deaths, you've got builds, and all the good things. If you're like one of those members, you know what I mean, you're playing cat and mouse with the cops or something, you a recruit or something. You're not a recruit. You're either a member or older, you know, elder or something. You've got lycans and werewolves and stuff, vampires and leaders like a body. You've got the eyes, the ears, the hands, the legs that must carry the body. Somebody that must speak for women. Somebody that must be a queen for the empire. Well, if you're going to be specific about your memory is important. It's very important. It plays a role in a lot of stuff. Maybe that's why they're trying to copy the weapon. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like you've got protection. You know what I mean? You've got opportunities. You've got a standard. You've got the high standard. You've got the low standard. And of course, you've got all the problems. But what I'm saying is, in case the person doesn't understand, you've got runts. You know what a runt is? Grunts. A runt. A runt in England is like a small member, but you a runt. But big up to G's Up Gang and DMS and CLS. But this is the bigger members. Obviously, somebody's going to try to go against the business. But some of us are real gangsters. But then if you are a gangster, then you've got your own technology. Or you've got your own cinematic camera view. You know, now you're in the camera view. With criminals, you know what I mean? Criminals got opportunity. But like with every criminal, you've got your episodes. So good on you. Good on you. Not that it makes a difference to the leader, but makes every difference to the empire. But if anybody believes you, is the local mafia business, you know what I mean? The business of making difference and whatever comes in this episode. But we'll try to make this episode educational in the last 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes, trying to follow the standard. I guess we've been blocked or whatever. You know, they're trying to prohibit our thing. So we'll come back to the music business another time. Of course, we're upset. We were sabotaged. Like so many businesses out there. So many people are sabotaged. But this is the thing. You're only sabotaging yourself. Of course, it hurts everybody. But people are just happy we're back in business. But in this episode is all about the runts, the grunts, the big members, the muscle power, the brains, the workers, the people in our empire need a bit of a vacation or special treatment or episode about what you've done. Obviously, you've done a lot of stuff. Obviously, you've realized, okay, I'm the leader for a reason. But other than those reasons, you're allowed to have a Wednesday off. But this is not going to be called Wednesday. This episode is going to be called Slaydem's philosophy on the ancient world. The ancient world was important. Of course, those things are possible. But you realize the ancient world is paying in gold. Of course, the Roman Empire can take over every corner of the world. Obviously, they can. But they can measure water. You can measure every bit of the known universe. But before you come to that place, of course, it's a scary place to live. Of course, it's got its problems. But if it doesn't have its problems, then where's the queen of the empire? So if you don't have a queen of the empire, that means you probably come to the level of the middle class. And somebody don't know the numbers. Yeah, but middle class is a problem. What I think is it could be the real monster. Too many times it's the real monster. So if it's the real monster, what you've got to do is employ your own soldiers. Of course, I got somebody to look after us with his technology and those things. Our music is way better. But besides our music, this is an episode for people that took part in the empire. Whether they're gone or forgotten is still important. Perhaps you need somebody in the next world. But to be honest, don't be threatening anybody. Instead of trying to threaten the grunts and the youngers, threaten the older members, which possibly they can't do. But what I'm saying is, good on you for surviving. Good on you for surviving all the tests. I guess it's about one person. DJ slaydem, the king of Africa. Hereditary diseases and stuff. A secret for our parents. A secret for people that feel forgotten. That feel like we owe you a favor. We owe you money or something. Like we've turned our back on you. Which is what I try to tell my cousin, mate. Don't sabotage our equipment. Don't try to come inside the property of the local vampire. Of course, society is against you. But even more, there's other problems. A lot of stuff has happened. This is just like an episode we want to keep for people with no episodes, people with no photos, people with no contribution, but they've contributed. Perhaps it was something dangerous. But like I said, I was hurt by the police for no reason. But not for no reason, mate. Because you're looking at the life of America or something. You're looking at the camera angle, you know what I mean? So, of course, there's a good part of India But like any place is a good part of New Zealand. But New Zealand has its problems. Like anywhere else. Perhaps you've got to be prepared to change the world. So it could be hidden, you know what I mean? But maybe it was something horrible. Maybe people are afraid. But you don't have a reason to be afraid. Because the vampire is in front of you. But the last 10 minutes is about education with the ancient world. How it's got beer like Heineken. Weed as well. And a place to stand up. So did the Stone Age. There was unity. Our technology means we're pirates, scavengers, vultures. But if it's scavengers or vultures, then obviously you've got the Lion King, which is a cornerstone business. It's not just important to the community, it's important to millions of colored people out there, which probably is the majority in the world. While Africa today, lunch for Africa, dinner in New Zealand is how the business is now. Well, now it's the famous middle of the week. So we're not against the white man. What we're against is a new enemy, scavengers and vultures, trying to get the empire out of the ancient world, trying to make episodes for people that are forgotten about, or people that we owe favors, or people that feel like prison is no hope, suicidal people, or people that seen something. Too many times they mistaken episode for the wrong thing. But yeah, it's all about standing up for yourself. But we've touched a lot of topics. Thanks for coming on the episode. What I'll try to bring you in is a different type of currency, a new type of economy, a new type of money, just like Bitcoin or selling drugs. Well, the first thing is getting over yourself, or it's, coming to the point where you're back in business. The only way to be in business is with episodes. But this episode is about philosophy. It's about the ancient world, commanding English, trying to let your blood circulate. And for health reasons, you stand up. Well, standing up can teach you a lot of things. Because the more you stand up, the less you sit down. Then a lot of stuff can happen. For one, if you're supporting our business, then you're not going to be sabotaging our equipment. Well, thank you. Thank you for another payday. But I feel that that's the job of the empire. Well, if the empire is paying us $10, then you can imagine a lot of profits and stuff. But this episode is not only ancient world economics and physics and philosophy. It's a lot of stuff, if you listen, that you could use in your own life. And then perhaps you could become a billionaire, maybe a trillionaire, without sabotaging our equipment. Worrying about the leader, worry about yourself is the most important thing. But thank you for what you've contributed. I'll make sure if you're ever in trouble, forgotten, there's an episode. You just play these episodes. It's like the A-Team or something, the Black Panther, Blade. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's all about your Spider-Man senses. How you use your Spidey senses. 99% of the time you're correct. The other 1% is the only opportunity to escape. But yeah, the ancient world had Heineken. It had a lot of stuff. It even had battery power. Because it's hidden away, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But it's good to hear the bikes riding again. Good to see white people happy. But if you want to make good music, it's all about the mental power. Trying to work with colored people. Realizing the ancient world is over is the greatest hurdle for the darkness, secret societies. The modern world is now well underway. Living in 2045. This is the episode of the giant 3D printer, the wasp nest, and the carpet of rock music, the carpet of Ant-Man and Dune. And thanks for the second episode. But that's my job. I guess if there's nothing special about you, then you wouldn't be in trouble with the hierarchy. But you can't always be in trouble. You can't always be by yourself. You can't always be trying to blame the hierarchy. It's not a matriarch. Matriarch is not just hyenas. Of course you want to be a social person. But good on you, mate. You threatening the gangs. Instead of trying to threaten the gangs, why don't you do something about it? But in this episode is all about trying to relax. trying to time yourself, getting your blood to flow, finding somewhere to stand up, turning your garage or some place of storage into a place of meditation, and try to make episodes for yourself. Maybe one day we could watch these things with your children. Maybe one day we could be in a different world. Well, then you wouldn't be the leader. Because if you were the leader, you'd be leading us into a war with the foreigners. But the last few minutes, I just want to say thank you. I'll make sure you get something decent. That was a nice try. But yeah, I'm the leader. You keep hassling the servants. The servants keep hassling the leader. You've got to back yourself up with money, power, respect. Have a stomach. Be comfortable in your underwear. It's not only episodes for yourself. It's episodes for something that doesn't exist. But yeah, just like any episode, you got problems like any business. You got good days, you got bad days. But yeah, I guess with the ancient world, they're probably confused because they don't know the contribution. They feel entitled because they can't command English. But that's the secret of Wakanda, the secret of Aquaman, the secret of colored people. I guess some of us have to live here, but we don't have to live with ourselves. Or we don't have to abide with the laws of reality. But thank you for the slack. The more slack I get, the more slack I can give you. Maybe one day you can come to the fighting school, mate. Then you can learn like a lot of children want to learn. But I guess you've got a waiting list, or you've got all the problems. But if you've got all the problems, then surely you must find unity. Well, if you're going to be talking philosophy, then you've got to back up your philosophy. But like any house is the world. Like any government, you've got upstairs, downstairs. But in any rich person's house, you've got a business like ours, a money business, a banking system. And to step into the darkness means that you must step into the light. But this is the camera angle of another episode coming from DJ Slaydem. Make sure that you get all your investments and stuff that you invested with us. There's no reason of being a trillionaire unless there's somebody near, mate. I guess you've seen something, you've been hurt and stabbed, but too many times they want to hurt the harmless. But I'm not harmless, bro. Just another day in America. In fact, it's that famous Wednesday, the giant printer, mate. The printer of the universe. How the center of the universe is so important. Our home, the water planet. And in the last few minutes, thank you for sabotaging our equipment and stuff, but it's more trying to find another beginning or another way. Money is power, but we'll try to keep with the standard of the world, being policed and stuff. But like I told you, any secret society's got debts and favors. That's the first thing of any empire, is to pay off the debts and favors before you tackle a bigger empire or you come to a bigger business, is to first be involved in society. Well, this episode's a lot of philosophy and answers. And more answers is finding yourself if you're lost. But play my stuff. You'll be surprised where I can reach, mate. Well then, further than the government or further than the reaches of Hollywood. If your time is limited, it's inevitable. But facing death is like crossing paths with a vampire. I guess it happened. But thank you for following this episode. This will be another professional episode. I'm going to call this DJ Slaydem's Philosophy. And I'm going to call it, maybe not DJ Slaydem's Philosophy, but maybe DJ Slaydem's Ancient World. So small letters for Slaydem. But don't try to download on Wi-Fi. This is a business, so any opportunity comes. But slowly we'll get there step by step. But step by step on the Russia front. Step by step with the foreigners. Another episode for the empire. Our empire, paying off the debts and favors, is the first thing of the leader of the empire. Before we're making a change to the world, we want to make a change to your life. That's all the job of being the leader. Conquering fear, mate, and making sense of the nonsense and trying to be available is more important than being unavailable, and being reliable and responsible. All the things, mate. Thanks for following another episode. Thanks, the Empire.